This episode of Casual Compliance is brought to you by the -6 effect on Aminatou the Fate Shifter. Choose left or right. Change places. Change places. Change places. Change places.
Change places. Change places. Change places.
Hi, I'm Gramps.
Hi, I'm Chili Bin, and I hate what's happening to my right.
Okay, we're gonna fuck this up. Okay. Hi, I'm Gramps.
Hi, I'm Chili Bin.
Usually, we use a fun little spin wheel to talk about the Commander format and the culture of Commander by pointing out cards that are on a ban list for a format that is fully casual. So why does it need a ban list? Everyone asks. The show is pretty much evidence of that. We do these things called Commander Nights, where we don't do that.
Casual Compliance Nights.
Commander Nights is something else.
Yeah.
That's After Dark Commander.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, we do Casual Compliance Nights. I forgot the name of the fucking show. It's been that long. We do Casual Compliance Nights where we talk about everything else around it. We have spoken about ways to do cultural checks of the game, where we can, using Ultimate is the name.
Spirit of the
Game.
Yes.
From Ultimate, we've spoken about
Rule Zero.
Rule Zero and how important that conversation is. We've also spoken about us and why we wanted to do a show. That was episode 0.
Yeah.
No one needs to see that. Pretend it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I guess there's a few things we need to talk about because it's been a while since we've been away. Our syntax person.
Been a while since we recorded.
We've
been away for a while.
Yes, we've been away for a while. So long that we have a new studio.
Yeah.
Ish.
Studio.
Garage. But there's a few things that have happened while we've been doing other things in life and not recording, even though we've got a regular schedule of videos coming out. Shh. And one of the things we spoke about, our syntax person, who actually isn't Chili Bin, it's the syntax sergeant.
I hate that.
Yeah, same. Anyway, non-Chili Bin syntax man is mentioned that we were going to make a video about the rule changes, mainly the the quadruple ban of cards that apparently turned the internet into a frenzy and fully killed Commander. Commander's never going to exist again. No one's ever going to play it. It's all a bad thing. Oh wait, everyone's
Commander is dead. Long live Commander, I guess. I don't know. I actually haven't played since.
Guess what? It survived.
Put that back.
It survived. Yeah, look.
I didn't spend $160 on lav mics to have you do that.
Only half, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Now, the other thing as well that happened whilst we were at PAX, working at PAX, is I sat down on Sunday and one of our shorts had hit 80,000 views.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
I was like, oh, hey, this one's on its little uptick the night before.
I think also it was like the Wednesday before the show started. You were like, hey, we just crossed 300 subscribers. Yeah. And I was like, sick.
Now we're almost at 400.
Yeah, and it's been, what, a few weeks?
Yeah, 2-3 weeks.
And in the meantime, that short broke containment and went silly.
In a 28-day period, we had our entire channel's worth of viewing. So thank you, everyone that honestly is still watching us. We appreciate it. We've been promising a Patreon for so long, and we still will continue to do that.
Yes. We'll continue to promise it. But now that we're finished with PAX, it will actually happen.
Yeah, this Sunday, the day after recording, is my last exam for the year for my masters.
Hell yeah!
And then we've got more to do.
Yeah.
But I think we wanted to try and do it in one episode, and we wanted to take our time with it because even though the show is very improv, off the cuff, Command is important to us both.
Yes. And
we don't everything that was happening when the bans were announced, and then the absolute clusterfuckery after it, we didn't want to be a part of.
No.
There was a lot of temptation to be reactionary to things.
Yeah, and I don't even think we got active on social media about it, outside of telling people to pull their fucking heads in. But it was a very intentional move to be like, let's wait for the dust to settle, and then we had to make that call about 3 or 4 times because more dust got kicked up.
Yeah, every time the dust would settle, we'd be like, okay, now is now the time.
Yeah.
And then something would happen, more dust would get kicked up.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, well, we're going to wait.
Yeah. Like, we didn't want to ever make this show reactionary. But, you know, something like the quarterly update to Commander, Banlist, rules, whatever, like, that's something worth reacting to. But we wanted to give ourselves time to gather our thoughts, let the community gather their thoughts, let everything kind of resolve, to use Magic parlance. And then it was just, and then is that coupled with
PAX.
Our schedules being fucked for the last like 2 months.
September and October are a really hard time of year for us.
Yeah.
Only one of us next year, thankfully, which will be all right, but we'll still figure it out.
Yeah.
Um,
So now we're on the 30th of October, at least a month past the actual quarterly update.
yes, the quarterly update was the start of September.
Yeah.
And now, so we're actually 2 months past, really.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is now, as of recording, they've announced the new Commander
Format panel.
CFP, console free play.
Console free play.
But yeah, no, fuck. Yeah, so the new Commander panel's been announced. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a two-parter.
Yeah.
With
a rare cold shot that we're going to do this in 2 parts.
Yes. Once episode 3 of this series comes out, that's when we're going to be like, maybe we name something else.
Yeah.
And we also are going to try and make more of an effort to do the quarterly updates, which means the next one, if it was in September, is
like January-ish?
September is the 9th.
December.
December. Yeah. Anyway,
we're
gonna try do one of these around each quarterly update.
Yeah. It might not be like the week the update happens, because that same logic of like,
might be able to.
Well, yeah, but like if for example a quarterly update happens that is tumultuous,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to be reactionary.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we'll see. We'll see what the next update.
We'll see what we can do. We might not talk about it at all. It might just be like there's no bans.
Yeah.
Oh well. Because we also had to think about how we're going to talk about the 4 cards that were banned.
Yeah.
Because they're recent. We know the cards.
Yeah.
We also saw in the ban announcement, quote unquote, why they were banned.
Yeah.
Do we put them in a list? Do we talk about them all at once?
Yeah.
They go on the list.
Yeah.
We're a band show.
Because there's a difference between the article in which they announced the bans and all of the reasoning behind it, and it was actually like quite verbose, as opposed to what ends up on the Commander website, which is like a short paragraph.
Which is I believe is still being maintained, because
they are on there.
Yeah, I had to look at it today to make sure that we could still do our show.
Yeah, we might need to think about backing that information up in case the website turns into something else, or the ban reasons stop being listed. But I think it's a net good having the ban reasons.
Yeah, I genuinely is. And it also helps our show exist.
Yes. But we'll think about that. That's a data problem for us to manage.
That's fine. We've got spreadsheets. So yeah, we're going to do a 2-parter. And for this one, we're going to talk about what happened.
Yes.
Semi-why it happened, not fully going into like the discussion of the thing, but what happened, and what transpired multiple times. Like we had, it was like the core event, the tail end, which was this massive blow up.
Yeah,
it got quiet for a little bit. People then reacted to the blow up, and then people reacted to people reacting to the blow up.
Yeah,
and then CFP was announced. And it seems to have simmered down since then.
Yes.
And then I also have a really passionate speech to give at the end.
Amazing.
It's our video essay. Oh my god, where H-Bomber go?
I need to get wallpaper on this.
Oh, it's just my head bursting through this fucking sheet.
Yeah, I'll give you a knife.
I'll give you
I'll fucking knife you.
So yeah, I mean, let's get started, shall we? Which we should actually look at when the cards were banned.
When? September?
Yes. Early September. It was an early September morning. We have a thread for this. but it's kicked me out of the thread because I made a poster that we're going to sell eventually.
Oh, that. Right. I forgot about that.
It's a good poster.
Please don't hold him to that.
It's the 24th of September.
Wow.
So
okay.
actually, we are about just a month.
Just a month.
Yeah, I thought it was early September. It's actually
What a
late
month.
September. Yeah, so the
Holy
24th of
shit.
September, cards were banned.
Mm.
It was Jewel Lotus.
Yes.
It was Mana Crypt.
Yes.
Fast Mana, Fast Mana.
Mm-hmm.
It was Dockside Extortionist, not Ragavan Nimble Pilferer.
Yep.
Dockside, Fast Mana again. And Nadu, the Winged Wisdom, the
Yep.
card that was designed for Commander by Commander players and then
Well,
banned from Commander 3 months later.
The card that was designed for Modern, retrofitted very late to a Commander-focused card with limited playtesting, and this
Yeah.
is like quoting Maro, basically.
Yeah.
And then banned in Modern very quickly after they let a whole Pro Tour happen with it, and then banned in Commander. So both things it was built for said, fuck that.
Well, and that's the thing as well, is I watched that Pro Tour and it was fucking boring.
It was all Nadu.
It was boring.
It was Nadu and Shuko, and that was it.
And if anyone didn't play that, good luck.
Yeah, you were outside the top 8?
Yes.
Top 4?
Yeah, top 4 was all Nadu.
Yeah.
And the mirror matches were also fucking boring. Like, it was not a good... Like,
it was just a race to Nadu.
Exactly.
Anyway, I think we will talk about Nadu a lot when we hit it on the wheel.
Yeah. Dude.
Wow.
But yeah, so now it's four big cards. Well, 3 big cards in Nadu.
Yeah,
because Nadu didn't have time to live the same way that Jewel Lotus Crypt.
And I will say too, like, Jewel Lotus was the one that initially struck me because it was kind of this like emblematic card for Commander.
It literally says it on the text.
It was also on the box for Commander Masters.
Yes, and they did that really interesting foil treatment.
Yeah.
Where it was like raised and glittery.
Yes, it was essentially a chase card.
A Pringle.
It was a chase card for the format.
Yeah. And it was interesting to see that all go. It all makes sense. It's wild to hear this from me, but good. And in terms of people impacted, let's look at our pod, usual pod
our
first.
Typical pod,
before we get into the rest. But I had a Dockside.
In one deck?
In one deck, in my Ashling deck. I actually used it against one of our friends from another show, Casa. And it went off.
Yeah.
It was fast mana.
And you were also able to like do it repeatedly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a Nadu that you didn't actually get to play. It was in a deck, didn't get to play.
It was in my Tatiova Benthic Druid Merfolk deck.
Yeah.
And it was in there because like I was doing a bunch of landfall stuff and like had triggers that it would work with really well. But between me putting it in and it getting banned, I never played that deck.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have the opportunity to see it.
And then actually, I believe Alex, our friend Alex, had both Jewel Lotus and Mana Crypt.
Right.
Because I know he had one of the, I think was Cavern of Souls was in Ixalan.
Yeah.
But he had a Jewel Lotus.
Right.
And it was in, I think it was in his Minsk and Boo deck. Fast mana.
Yeah.
We took it out of our decks. I put a mountain in.
Yeah, I think I might have also just slammed another land in there because it's a landfall deck. Like, why not?
It was, and in Ashling, it's all about the red mana.
Yeah.
And so, take out one card, put another land in.
Actually,
more red mana.
I think with that Tatiova deck, I've had a list of like 8 to 10 cards on the considering list on Moxfield, and I was like, oh, I've now got one of those. I'll just slot that in.
Sideboarding is illegal in Commander. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but considering,
full legal.
Love to consider.
I consider so much. So yeah, cool. We put an extra card in. Where is your Nadu now?
It's in a box.
Yep. My Dockside is in a box.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Alex's Jewel Lotus is in bulk.
Yeah.
Cool. Episode over.
Cool.
Have a nice day.
See you next time.
Thank you. But then the internet decided that Wizards of the Coast was targeting their bank accounts specifically.
Yes.
Hey, did you know that this is the most amount of money that's ever been banned in a Commander ban list?
That's ridiculous.
$700 of value gone.
Now, I'm going to quote you at yourself. Yeah. It only has value if you sell it.
I have tens of thousands of cards and quite a significant value of bulk.
Same. And as someone who's just moved house and like redone my contents insurance, I now have enough wiggle room in our contents insurance to cover my Magic collection.
Oh, that's nice.
But I had to have the conversation with them about, because like collections are valued differently under Australian
Yep.
contents insurance. Like if it is a set that is worth more together,
Yep.
you know, like coin collections, that sort of thing, they will put it as a high value item in its own listing. But if it's just like a general collection, they're like, just put like the rough replacement cost
Yeah.
down on as a number within your.
Yeah, I can't
contents.
put mine on home and contents insurance
Why not?
because it's worth too much.
Mine was all right.
Uh,
Anyway,
I'll tell you that. You know what? You just bleep the number.
Yeah.
My set is worth $dollars.
Yeah, mine was close around that.
Fuck, you've built up.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
you know, like this is an unopened Duskmorn
yeah,
box.
true. Yeah.
I like to buy boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, my set is worth about $dollars. And we can just beep that both times. But it's also worth $0.
Yeah.
You don't have to beep that one.
Yeah.
Because the first card I gave Chilibin was a doubling season.
Yeah.
When it was worth $200.
Yeah.
Before it was reprinted
And
in
now
Foundations.
it's coming out in Foundations.
$30 doubling seasons. Thank God.
Hell yeah.
It's very funny to see Wizards of the Coast devaluing the market again, but this time not with a band, this time with a full fucking set.
Yeah, just reprint doubling season.
And those Darksteel Colossi that you have,
Yeah.
everyone can have them now for $70 in a starter kit with every other
So
card.
good.
70 Australian dollars.
But anyway, the value thing.
Yeah.
I only gave the contents insurance a number because they were like, what's the current like replacement cost? And I was like, the only information I have about that is like the secondary market and Moxfield just telling me what it's worth in US dollars, and I converted it. If I had to go out there and buy every single card that I currently own, that's what it would cost based on current prices.
Yeah.
But I don't ever think about it that way. This is an emergency. Like, is all my shit gone?
Yeah.
Most of those cards I'm not doing anything
Here's
with.
the insurance.
Yeah. Well, most of those cards I'm not doing anything with. I'm very unlikely to actually replace the entire thing.
Exactly.
I personally, the value of a Magic card is as a play item. The fact that you are able to sell them for potentially profit is a happy accident.
Yep.
It is a secondary benefit.
And you should not put your entire value on that.
Entire value, no. I will say that, like, I recognize that people look at them as a collectible good that can be essentially gambled on.
Yes.
By trying to buy low and sell high.
Yes.
Just like the stock market, but more volatile.
Or crypto.
Yeah. I think the best example is always Beanie Babies. And there's like documentaries on how
the best
Beanie Babies are a fraught investment vehicle because you're tying it to a physical item that has no inherent value, essentially.
Exactly. It's a piece of cotton with beans in it.
The only reason it is worth more than you paid for it is because somebody is willing to pay that. It is not because of like any other means. And like it's all scarcity, it's all basically it's just scarcity, right? And it's also people saying that's worth this, and you're going, will you pay that?
Okay.
And they say yes, and that pushes the market up.
Yeah.
Right? It's all bullshit.
You've got the Gramps to GG scale, which is every time I give a card away for free, congratulations, that card is fully devalued now. Which means doubling season worth $0. Go to a friend, take it from them.
Do you want? I mean, I have it. It's worth $0?
It's worth $0 now.
Cool, fine. I get a lot of joy out of it.
There you go. Yeah. If you're going to play it, fucking play it.
Yeah.
I understand, but the people that... Let's get back to the fervor of it, I guess,
Yes.
and the whole mimicry of oh no, they devalued my collection. The reaction to people that had bought 15 Mana Crypts, 100 Jeweled Lotuses, 7 Docksides, and put their entire investments into it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you expected.
Yeah, you have to realize it was a gamble the whole time.
Exactly. It's a speculative investment. The housing bubble hasn't burst, so the Magic bubble did. It's basic. It's yeah. And then seeing the response, a lot of the most of the, I would say more than 9 out of 10 of those reactions were about people's collections losing value.
Yeah.
Or this deck was worth this much and now it's worth this much, and seeing the dollar sign, and then using the dollar signs in their eyes to blind themselves from the person behind the accounts they were abusing.
Yeah.
Sometimes blindly. It was very funny to see some people like tagging the Get Commanded people being like, you better explain this you better explain why you banned it, and then being
You
like, we,
hyper local Australian content creator.
yeah, it's just like,
What?
what? It's yeah, this weird kind of relationship where people didn't understand where the bands were coming from, even though the rules committee is very, was very active
Yeah.
and very verbal.
Yeah.
Jim LePage all the time available via Twitter
Used to be.
until he had to lock it. Well, it's unlocked again.
Yeah.
But he had to lock it.
But he also, we're jumping around time-wise, but he later put out a statement to say, I'm basically stepping away from a lot of social media because of a lot of this. But he was like incredibly public and accessible and transparent.
And now we've lost that.
Yes.
Because of the way people targeted him. Gobert Hicks. Trying to think of Kibler. Weirdly.
Yeah. He's not even, he wasn't even on either.
Exactly.
Right? The rules committee or the advisory group.
Yeah. There were people that are just being like hounded and harassed. And then there were large content creators fueling that flame as well. Being like, but not in the same way.
I would say either through inaction or, in some cases, using language that was close to the fervor and the anger.
Like, I didn't see anyone talking about their bank accounts but it saw people talking about how the bans were bad for CEDH, or how the bans were bad in general, or they should have spaced it out and they've done it the wrong way. Constant criticism and no, hey, cool your fucking jets.
Yeah.
At all. Which is really disappointing to see. And then every time there was an opportunity to, like, some people actually took the opportunity to reflect on that and then doubled down on not supporting the people that put all of the effort into the culture.
Yeah.
It was really tough to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, you're kind of hoping that it would, like, the bigger creators would stop talking about the topic, so it could just die down, and then they could react in a considered way instead of H1 guy's video about plagiarism where he donates all of the money because he's like, I don't think I should make money from this.
Yeah.
Every single one of those creators was set to profit.
Yeah.
On any time of talking point.
It's, you know, people love watching drama. They love watching scary shit on the news. Like, it is what grabs headlines. It's what grabs attention.
It's all that brain, like the doom scrolling now.
Yeah, and hey, as someone who has basically fully switched from Twitter to Blue Sky, that shit is so nice.
We have.
It's like old Twitter.
As a show, we've also switched to Blue Sky, Capture Compliance.
Yeah,
Blue Sky, because we're able to have our full fucking name.
Yeah, and I'm able to use my custom domain, and my username is just @chilibin.online, and it's fucking great.
Done.
Because I can't get Chilibin on Twitter, but there's like, it's just Twitter brain. It's just people go on there looking for anything to get angry at someone about, because that is just the nature of the platform nowadays. Didn't used to be, but it is now. So
bans happened. Vitriol on Twitter about people's bank accounts.
Misguided vitriol.
Misguided vitriol about people's bank accounts. But then there was this really weird, interesting part where people were looking at the trends of card sales. Like, sales of Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt stopped in a lot of LGSs, and they stopped buying them as well because the prices tanked overnight.
Yeah.
But then people were linking the price tanking to somehow Wizards of the Coast knowing that the ban was coming, and this whole conspiracy theory about how everyone started selling off their cards and market manipulation, which guess what? It's not a real market.
Well, also, like, you can't link those two things.
Exactly. Like, there is no evidence at all, and everything was this weird conspiracy theory for a little bit.
Twitter brain.
And that was
Twitter brain.
The second dust kick up.
Yeah.
And then the third dust kick up was Wizards announcing. No, the third dust kick up was people leaving the rules committee and the consumer advocacy.
It was mostly the Commander Advisory Group.
Yeah.
That's where people started abandoning ship. I don't think anyone left the RC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it was because the CAG was bigger.
Yeah.
And there was maybe 2 or 3 people like putting out posts on Twitter saying like, here's why I'm leaving.
Yes.
Basically just doing a dummy spit.
Yeah.
And going like, oh, I don't, because it was the RC that made the ban announcement, and certain people on the CAG were saying we weren't consulted and throwing a hissy fit, even though that's how the bans have always worked.
Yes.
Like
They've never consulted everyone on the CAG.
Like they might have in the past, but it's not a requirement, or it wasn't.
Yeah.
It just the rules committee was there to do a different job.
Yeah. And then so the CAG had a bit of a dummy spit. That was dust number 3, because there was like a way to point back at the RC and be like, look what you fucking did.
Yeah.
Like, look what these bans did. You've now ruined the faith in everyone.
Yeah, you've now caused people to quit in protest. It's like, well, no.
No, it's not
like,
a protest.
They're just being a little pissy about it.
They're chucking a wobbly.
Yeah.
As we would say in Australia.
Yeah.
And the really frustrating thing about that was, again, these are adults whose whole job is making an income on Magic. So, again, set to benefit off of their fuckery.
Yeah.
Really. Which is just hard to watch.
Also, just like, set a better example.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Ban happens. Misguided vitriol. Conspiracy theory about market tanking.
Yeah.
CAG quitters.
Yes.
And then finally, an announcement comes out that the RC is being handed over to Wizards.
And the CAG. Like, both of those things were dismantled.
Yes. So the RC and the CAG, gone.
Yeah.
And then Wizards taking over the running of the Commander ban list. And Commander as a format.
Yeah, the Commander format.
Yeah.
Largely.
Which was really interesting, because you got two sides of a voice going in the same direction, which was, well, mostly, and then a third little minor group that was like, this is bad. That you had like one side, which was all of the vitriolic, angry people being like, watch Wizards unban this mistake because the RC was dumb and deserved to be put in jail.
Quick check. Still banned?
Still banned.
All 4 of them?
All 4.
Sucked in.
And then the other, more than that, there's more than that, which we'll get to at the end of this video before we get into the next one. Yeah. But the other group was like, hey, I mean, Wizards make this product.
Yeah. It's actually always been weird that it's been split.
It's probably good that someone is getting paid to look after it now, rather than the RC, who, like, I don't believe we're getting paid.
Like, as much credit as I can give, full credit to the RC and the CAG and their efforts, because it was a community developed format that grew way bigger than 5 volunteers should ever be in charge of.
Absolutely.
But this is the rules committee, like CAG. I can't remember how many people are on the CAG. But,
too many.
Like the fact that you had these 5 very public named individual people responsible for this juggernaut, like the most successful format of Magic.
The most played format of Magic.
Yes.
The biggest, the one that's splitting off into 2 as well, or continually trying to, and then racists keep ruining it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like, that's for 5 people and a CAG to look after in a full voluntary position. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
so, and that was like one thing that struck me as someone who's played Magic for 3 years now. Like, the first thing I thought was like, why isn't Wizards in charge of this format?
Yeah.
Yet they keep printing product for it. It always felt a little strange.
And that was a fear of some people. The people that were like, Wizards are going to unban these cards and fuck everyone, we're over here. And then the people were like, this could be a good thing. Like, it's nice having them in charge. But people were worried that, because Commander is a community format.
Yes.
There are people worried about the people that are in charge of it also primarily going to be making an income off of it. Some of them were misguided and said, oh, Wizards make an income off the secondary market. Literally how?
No, they don't.
Like, literally how?
Are you kidding? Like, if anything, it drives people to buy their products, but that's not them profiting off the secondary market. That's the secondary market driving them to buy the stuff in the first place.
Yes. Yeah, they're
not getting kickbacks from fucking TCG players.
They don't care that the Jewel Lotus is worth $700.
No.
Like, they're not going to bring it back because they benefit from it. They don't benefit from it.
Someone might go buy a box for
Masters.
like 180, $200 Australian. Maybe they get a card that they go and sell, but none of that secondary money goes to Wizards.
Exactly. I mean, the only person really buying bulk boxes is Rudy from Alpha Investments.
Yeah.
So he can have them. So there were people that were worried that, but also, Wizards do make money from the format. They print the Commander product. They control the Commander product.
They design for it.
In printing. So in my opinion, I don't want to say our, because I don't know what your opinion is, but in my opinion, having the people that make the product control the product means that we will probably get better product.
Yeah. I think there was still a part of me that was like, this makes a lot more sense to have them look after the format. but I was still waiting to find out how they would manage it.
Mm-hmm.
Like to your point,
bring that up.
Yeah, to your point about like it was a community managed format essentially, and you're handing the keys to a corporation and saying, "Can you also do that? Can you look after this nice game that we like to enjoy socially?"
It's something that we love, and we want it to be done. And then there was a weekly MTG.
Yes.
With Gavin Verhey, as usual.
Yep.
Where
very nice man.
A lovely man, while I was in hospital, made a video for me and sent it to me.
Yeah.
And then so I'm going to give you a summary. This is from Merit123 on Reddit.
Of course, it's Reddit.
Hey, you fucking posted this.
It's you. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was a screenshot from Twitter.
It's a screenshot from Twitter of a Reddit post.
Yeah.
But this is from user Merit MERET123. Thank you very much. Titled Weekly MTG Stream Summary about Commander. First up, we, which is WOTC and the RC, reached the conclusion together for the WOTC thing to happen. So it wasn't just WOTC being like, we're going to do it now, go away, RC. It was probably RC being like, help us.
Yeah, I think it actually was them initially reaching out to Wizards from, I think, what Jim LePage put out.
Yeah.
Kind of hinted in that direction.
What's really incredibly disappointing is the second point of this already. And again, if you watch our stuff and you were involved in this, stop watching our stuff. Like, keep being the fucking toxic little gremlin you are, but go away.
Yeah, we're not
interested. They are the Wizards of the Coast were taking precautions to ensure the safety of RC members. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that just shouldn't have had to happen.
The format still they want the format to still be community driven. That's the core of it. Cool, we win.
Yeah.
That's it. Done. Like, easy.
Okay, but how?
Yeah. Gavin plans to establish a committee similar to the Pauper format panel, the PFP. RC and CAG members most likely will be members. I don't actually know how many RC members are in the current console free play. Aaron Forsyth, one of the other major contributors to Commander just in general, and also all-around good bloke and Magic World Champion 1 year, I believe, as well. He addresses the worries about profit-driven actions. He says, I'm also here for the love of the game, like the RC. Yes, Hasbro want things. Yes, my bosses want things. I have a lot of freedom to do what I think is best. Our goal is to make things last forever. Keeping the community happy is our way to make money.
Yeah.
Because we're the ones that buy it, and the 30th anniversary showed most of us very happy to talk with our wallets.
Yes. And also, of the people that buy Magic, most of it is coming in from Commander.
Yeah, 100%.
So they'd be stupid not to try to keep that the same.
That's why they're designing Commander cards.
Yeah.
Look at Jumpstart 25.
Yeah.
That Saffron card.
Cool.
I'm going to buy 50 boxes until I get one. They want to wait until the panel is established before they talk about the ban list. So, beyond initial ban list changes, they don't want to make changes too often. Quarterly ban list updates will still happen. It won't follow banned and restricted of other formats though, so it'll be specifically to Commander. Because when you look at banned and restricted at the moment, it tells you all the format banned and restricted.
Yeah.
So Commander's going to get its own.
They've got like dates on them, like ahead of time. Yeah.
Power brackets, baby.
Yeah, people got way too caught up on power brackets.
Forgot about that. Yeah. But power brackets, baby. We'll talk about that next episode. But 4 power brackets: Swords, Thalia, Draenith Magistrate, Armageddon. Which, immediately wrong. Armageddon is at least tier 2, not tier 4.
Look, I don't even know what that means because I had stopped reading when they went into power brackets. All I will say is it's a suggestion of how to frame a pre-game conversation. It is not meant to be a rigid tier list system.
Much like a ban list. Yeah. They also aren't going to replace Rule 0 because guess what? Rule 0 never existed as a thing other than, hey, talk to your friends and don't be a bad person.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I almost said that.
I know you did.
Fuck.
I heard it.
Yes.
I heard you say it before you didn't say it. And I got real worried.
That's right. You can censor it. Don't be a like, it's not hard.
Now I have to remember that you said that.
Now Chili Wynn's going to have to watch the episode.
Shit.
They aren't trying to replace Rule 0. At least one person from the CEDH community will be part of the panel, which is good with doing that.
Yep.
WOTC is still focusing on the casual format. There will be no separate ban lists. Brackets are actually meant to do that.
Yeah, but they're a social construct.
Yes, I saw actually something tangent because this show is tangent on tangents when we do nights.
Yep.
I saw someone talk about a sideboard they had, which was a power level sideboard. So like,
so they can just like swap cards in and out
Yeah.
to adjust.
so they have a deck they really like. They want to play in all forms of the game.
Yeah.
So, why not have cards that change the power level as you go through?
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
Soul
Yeah.
Ring isn't going anywhere.
Good.
Soul Ring. I see fourth bracket is cards that you will rarely see in pre-con.
Yep.
Soul Ring isn't going anywhere. Soul Ring is bracket 0, so to say.
Yeah.
On the point of Soul Ring,
Mm.
when Jeweled Lotus, because I'm going to be using it as my argument when we get to these episodes, by the way.
Jeweled Lotus or Soul Ring?
No, Soul Ring.
Okay.
But when Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt were banned, everyone was crying, why isn't Soul Ring 2?
Yeah. What, the 1 mana artifact that taps for 2? That's fast mana.
That's everyone has access to.
Yeah. It is plentiful.
Everyone.
It is in every fucking pre-con.
It is every fucking... and it's now in the starter kits for Foundations.
Yeah.
Everyone can get a Soul Ring. Not everyone can get a Jeweled Lotus.
No.
Doesn't matter about the price. It matters about the accessibility and what it does for the format.
Yeah.
And also, Jeweled Lotus existed in the same world that Soul Ring did.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be really bad as well is when we get to those episodes and you just bring me...
bring the insert.
Flashback.
Yeah. What they also go on to say that like Soul Ring is essentially like the epitome of the format.
Yeah.
And is like emblematic of it in a way that like Jeweled Lotus was, but did too much. And
they both, it's like this town ain't big enough for the two of us kind of deal where they went with a small.
Let's go with the one that's in every pre-con and also like the incredibly accessible card that like gets you a little bit of acceleration.
Yeah. And
you're allowed to have an exception to a rule.
Exactly. You're allowed to have exceptions. That's why they're exceptions.
Yeah.
There's apparently going to be a point system similar to Canlander.
I don't know.
Oh no, sorry. There's not going to be a point system because it's too complex.
Yeah.
And too competitive for casual Commander.
Yeah.
Brawl and Arena already separates decks into 4 categories. That's why they do their matchmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the part is my favorite part about all of this that they said. So you know how you want them to unban Jeweled Lotus, Dockside Extortionist, and Mana Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've written it wrong here, which is really funny. Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Dockside were mistakes.
As cards?
Cards that were banned recently are the kind of cards they don't want to make.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't want to make today. They want to reduce ubiquity going forward.
Yeah.
Ubiquitousness. Here it says Jeweled Lotus and Arcane Signet. Arcane Signet is a mistake, but for different reasons. If you have it in your deck, why? I'm not here to comment on that. No. You're right. I'm sorry.
Arcane Signet's fine.
They're discussing implementing more digital tools. So you enter your deck list and it tells you what your bracket is. That's really... I like that. Because if it's going to make the brackets, don't make us do all the labor ourselves.
Yeah.
They want to release first brackets article before MagicCon Las Vegas.
Well, they missed that.
They missed that because Vegas just happened.
Yeah.
It was good. The World Championship was really good. Well done, Javier Dominguez.
Yeah.
The committee will be a range of 10 to 20 people. There will also be 10 commander designers working in WOTC.
Great.
So it's all been pretty good.
Yeah.
They aren't tied to 4 brackets though. There can be a 5th bracket if we need.
Yeah.
It's undecided whether the committee will be anonymous. Guess what? Wasn't. And they can also divide combos into different brackets. Like Thoracle combos bracket is a 4. Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood only a 3.
My God.
It's in every black deck. And then Gavin reads Reddit a lot.
Yeah.
So what I'm learning is where I need to be is Reddit.
Yeah, but it essentially Gavin is leading this panel.
Yes,
is my understanding.
Well, actually, we could go through the memberage of the panel as well.
Yeah, let's do this now. I think we don't need to do that in the
next one
in the part 2.
So it's the CFP commander. Not the CFMEU.
I think it was 13 people.
Yes, I believe so.
As a guess, plus Gavin, obviously.
Plus Gav. Big Gav. 22nd of October, 2024.
Big G. So that was 8 days ago.
8 days ago. We wanted to assemble a group of superheroes.
Is that what they say?
Nope. Something close to that. They just wanted to assemble the right amount of people. Now, basically everyone on here is a content creator because they're the ones that really love the game. They're the ones that have the vocal face. They're the ones who are going to be able to talk about the bands.
And also, like, conduits for gathering feedback.
100%.
Like they have their own communities with their own interests and passions.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to hopefully get a good spread of diverse opinion.
I'm gonna fuck up some of these names, but I'm gonna do my best.
Hey, proud of you.
Starting with Attack on Cardboard. Attack on Cardboard. Then we got
like the one name on that entire list that we know.
You mean Band IT?
That we've,
Sorry, Band.
that we've met in person. Sorry, Tom. I didn't know he was going to do that.
We've got Bandit, Benjamin Wheeler.
Yeah,
Benjamin Wheeler.
Ben Wheeler. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm Ben Wheeler at home. Charlotte Sable, Dequan Watson.
Power Dragon.
Power Dragon.
Yeah.
Deco PDC. Actually, be better doing that. Yeah, Bandit MTG1, B Wheeler MTG. Charlotte Sable was Jacquelite, Jaqalyte.
Sure.
Power Dragon,
Yeah.
without an E in power and without an O in dragon at the end. Deco, or Deco PDC with an underscore. Greg Sablan, which is Gregory Sablan.
Okay.
Itetu, which is at Itetu underscore, ITTETU.
Okay.
Josh Lee Kwai, which is Josh Lee Kwai.
Yeah, got it.
Kristen Gregory, which is Narukami Knight. Naru. I don't know why I rolled my R when I said R. KAMIKNIGHT.
I'm enjoying you in this prison of your own making.
Thank you. Thor Stardust. LUA Stardust.
Who was big in the CEDH side of things.
Is my understanding. Yeah. Same with Jilla Kwai.
Yep.
Olivia Gobert Hicks.
Yep.
Also known as Gobert Hicks.
Yep.
Or Gobert Hicks. Rachel Reeks is her handle. Rachel Weeks is her name.
Yeah.
Rebel Lily, which is Rebel underscore Lily, Rebel with 2 L's at the end. Scott Larrabee, which is Scott Larrabee. Tim Willoughby, which is Tim's Wheelbarrow.
Tim's what?
Wheelbarrow.
Great.
And Toby Elliott, who is Toby Elliott with 2 T's.
Yeah.
That's our
KIFP.
Our KIFP. Our console free play.
Our Commander format panel.
Commander format panel. Thank you to everyone who is in that list for putting themselves on blast.
Fucking good luck.
For a year. Because
yeah, they basically said like it is a year, not fixed term, but like they're committed for a year, and then after that,
with a chance to
and then
probably
after that,
expand.
Well, it's or step away.
Or
like
step
they might
away.
do the year and be like, I'm good actually.
Yeah, if only there was someone we could ask or have on the show.
Is that foreshadowing?
That is foreshadowing. Conspiracy. So since the show started in April this year, I believe we started.
It was, yeah.
I actually think our April 1st is our like opening the channel day.
God, if that is true, that's very good.
Which is the same anniversary date as Rooster Teeth as well.
No.
They started their company April 1st.
Well, that's dubious. To be fair, we haven't started a company yet.
Oh, we'll get there.
Time of recording, but
we'll get there.
As long as it's not on April 1st.
It's not April 1st. Well, let's reclaim that. But yeah, since we started the show, very early on, Attack on Cardboard. I'm gonna call him Tom, and we can just mute. We can bleep it if we ask him if he's not okay with that, because I don't know if we've called him Tom before.
Yeah. Sure.
But Attack on Cardboard, from the very get go, like I don't even know how he came across us.
So we traveled in similar circles of the folks that would like go to cons and teach Magic.
Okay.
So like he was part of that kind of group, and I found my way into that earlier this year, and I think through that, like, there was enough exposure happening to who we were when we sort of took off.
Yeah.
Other people that knew who we were maybe put us in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's been a very, very helpful person to us from the get-go.
Yeah.
Helping us improve our channel, giving us pointers all the way, and then also just being a friend.
Yeah.
Like just general good bloke.
Yeah.
And
have actually played Commander with him.
It
was really nice.
Have yet to, but he seems the kind.
Yeah.
He did play arch enemy wrong on the Cozy Magic Club.
Oh
So,
no, I.
but I much
Oh.
like Miracle, no one's ever played arch enemy right.
No,
So
it's fine.
it's fucked. Anyway, calling him out for that. Unless
guy.
I'm wrong. Oh well.
Yeah.
More likely I'm wrong. But we actually mentioned to him that we're always hoping to get him on the channel. We're hoping to get a few people, especially the Australian community, on the show with us. But we never wanted to leverage his position to benefit us.
Mm.
And it just now happens to be a crazy random happenstance that he's on top of the list.
Yeah, alphabetically, he appears at the top of the Commander format panel.
Yep, you know what? That means he's number one.
I don't think that's how that works.
It is in my mind.
Yeah.
He's number one in my heart.
Yes.
So we are going to, when we get a chance to record with him, because again, scheduling comes up,
Yep.
part 2 for this, which is what next. There might even be more that happens in between.
Yeah.
We're going to get him on.
We're due for a quarterly update soon.
In December.
That might come out before we get a chance to talk to him.
Exactly. It'd be very interesting.
Mm.
But yeah, we're going to get Tom on. And he's going to have a chat with us about, well, the format.
And I guess just his perspective, like hopefully by then he's had, or they have had, some of those early discussions as a group.
Yeah.
And then it's up to, what he's able or comfortable to share with us. But we'll basically just have a chat about his perspective on all of it.
Yeah.
It'd be very good.
Yeah. He loves the format.
Yeah.
I love the format.
I do too.
And I guess at the end of the day,
is this your big speech?
It is, because like it's a sentimental thing, but no one can kill Commander but us as people, because the little game types and little formats of Magic the Gathering that happen, whether there is an official name for it or not, they exist. I now have a Dan deck.
Yeah.
I sometimes enjoy Dan way more than Commander.
Have you seen Pleasant Kenobi's party box?
No.
You should go find video of that, because it is a deck about this high that he plays at conventions. And anyone who plays in it, I think, adds a card to the pile.
That's a format.
But also, there's some non-magic cards in there.
It's like a Blue Eyes White Dragon in there.
Yeah,
but
legitimately.
But also, like, look at the curses, the Commander curses, which is like everyone runs with the curse deck.
Yep.
Arch Enemy and Plane Chase, although having Commander formats, are their own formats. Yes, they were supported by Wizards of the Coast, but there are formats that are supported by Wizards and they exist, and they die, but people still play them.
Yeah.
If Wizards of the Coast were to say tomorrow, we're not supporting Commander anymore.
Yeah.
No, you guys are too toxic. We're out.
Yeah.
You can still build a 99 card deck with Singleton.
Yep.
That's the whole point of Rule Zero.
And you can probably find a Discord server full of people that want to do the same thing.
Exactly. That's the whole point of Rule Zero. That's the whole point of Magic formats. Is someone's like, oh, I've got a really cool idea for a format.
Yeah.
Watch Ristic Studies video on Dan.
Yeah.
Where it's like some guy posting on a forum board to himself, hey, I've developed a format.
Yeah.
Hey, here's version 2. Hey, I'm going to be at this convention. Come play with me. And, that's what this game is. This game is pieces of cardboard that let us play with it how we want to.
Yeah.
But also how people prescribe. So if Commander were to stop being supported tomorrow, it would still exist because you want to keep playing it. Because we want to keep playing it. As long as you've got 4 people that want to play the game, congratulations, you have Commander.
Yeah.
99 cards, 1 card at the top. Singleton, cool.
Yeah.
The culture is the people, not the rules. The whole conceit of the show is using the rules to talk about the culture. Yes. But it requires the people in it for it to exist. So there is no reason, no matter what happens with any of the cards going forward or what happened with any of the bans in the past, to ever treat people not like people.
Yeah.
But to ever, hate anyone for what they enjoy.
Oh yeah, get that gatekeeper shit out of here.
Personal opinions of Universes Beyond is fine, but the moment you
Sure.
take someone,
Wasn't sure if you're going to open that door in this episode.
well, it's just a little bit. It's like you
Yeah.
know, if someone got into Magic because of Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's someone else I'm going to play Magic with.
Yeah.
Because it's a gateway.
I know multiple people that saw the Lord of the Rings shit and went, great, sign me up. That wasn't even Universes Beyond.
No, guy at
Nope.
my work was like, oh, I bought these Magic the Gathering Commander decks, and
Yeah.
his partner was like, you don't play Magic, and
Yeah.
he was like, I guess I do now.
Also, pay more attention to Mark Rosewater's fucking Tumblr, because I think on there he said, this isn't a forever thing, this is a for now thing.
Yeah.
Like, it'll get a bunch of people in the game, and probably Commander will be stronger for it.
Yeah, the 40k decks were the start of something amazing.
Yeah.
We might disagree with the properties being used, but the reasoning behind it is sound.
Just wait 6 months. There's probably one that you do like.
You know, who doesn't like? Well, I don't like Spider-Man, but who else doesn't like Spider-Man?
What about SpongeBob?
I've been rewatching SpongeBob from season 1. I cannot tell you how happy of a fucking goofy goober I am.
Yeah. I'm so curious to see how they turn SpongeBob into magic.
SpongeBob is magic every time.
Yeah, but like, what is SpongeBob's color identity?
White.
Yeah?
Because the off-color white is yellow.
Yeah, but he's a little bit chaotic. Yeah.
SpongeBob is Grixis.
Okay. It's not white at all.
SpongeBob is Grixis. Mr. Krabs is obviously Azorius. Anyway, this is speculation, but love the game. Don't hate anyone. Just stop.
Yeah, they're pieces of cardboard. If you're sending death threats, fucking grow up. What do you got? What is it?
This is Schrodinger's card. You don't know what this card is, but I guarantee you'll love it.
I do. It's one of my favorites because I've seen what it is.
It's a forest.
Yeah. I love green.
I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to? Because the thing, I know we probably wanted something way more structured, but I don't think we could. Like, we definitely could put it down, but it's not
Yeah,
us.
like, we could have sat here and just walked through the timeline, but I think that's ultimately just, like, you could go find a bullet point list that tells you all the events that happened since the September 2024 quarterly update.
If that was a token, I was going to eat it. Sorry.
And, like, that's fine. But, yeah, the point of this show is the culture, and culture's a hard thing to talk about. Like, it is... We've got this game that is casual by its definition, yet it has a ban list because a group of people given charge over that casual format said, these cards make it worse.
Yes.
And that is people intentionally caring for the culture, putting their time and effort into doing so. And frankly, they deserve more respect than a lot of people give them.
Yeah.
I, for one, am optimistic, quite optimistic about this format panel, and I think Gavin in particular has said a lot of the right things. And like a lot of these sorts of changes, I'll wait and see, right? Like, they basically haven't done anything since the team was announced. The next 6 months are going to be really interesting. And it doesn't change anything about the commander you're playing right now.
Exactly.
Like, you could not look at the internet for a full year and the way you play Commander wouldn't change because you've got a group of 4 people that agree how that game should go. That could be like, hey, maybe none of you know that Jeweled Lotus is banned now, but if you all are fine with it, you can just play with it.
Or maybe, yeah, you all agree that, hey, that ban was wrong and you want to keep it in your decks.
Yeah.
Sick.
I will also say, to the point about them banning them in the first place, there were people saying things like, oh, they should have given us like advance notice that this was going to happen. You know what that would have done is let people fucking sell them all off, tank the market, and then it's like, you'd get the same criticism.
Double down on that. Jeweled Lotus, when it came out, Jim LePage said, we're going to be watching this card closely.
Yeah.
You got given 2 years of notice.
Yeah. And I actually think it's incredibly strong for them to just come out, put out an article and say, these 4 cards are banned immediately. And to stick to it. Like, they should not have had the level of vitriol directed at them. I'm not at all, ever, going to excuse that. But the fact that they were like, this is banned now, tough shit. Like, there are 20-something thousand cards you could play in Commander. Try something else.
Put a land in.
Yeah. Hey, I'm building that Demir Zombies deck. I found a card called Tombcase Stairwell that is fucking weird, and it's a world enchantment that gives everybody zombies every turn with cumulative upkeep. That's an old-ass card that has never had a reprint. That's the shit Commander's for.
Play Lich.
Play Lich. Holy shit, I want to see Lich in a deck
That
now.
card was rad.
Yeah, and Lich's Mastery, similar.
It's, you know, Commander's always been about expression, and sometimes people's expressions are power creep, and I'm better than you and faster than you.
But also, yeah, maybe you want a deck for those, you maybe have a play group that you don't always play with, but you want a deck to have when you play with that group of people, and all they care about is high power, winning. Like, that's great. If that's what you want your Commander games to be, go forth.
Keep those Jewel Lotuses sleeved because you can put them in a deck.
Yeah. If you like.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
My name's Gramps.
My name's Chili Bin.
There's a keys out there.
Yeah.
You can find us on, well, you're here at YouTube, unless you're listening on Spotify. YouTube at Casual Compliance. Spotify, Casual Compliance, look us up. We come up on top now.
You should. Who else has called their show this?
Blue Sky, Casual Compliance. Twitter, Compliance Show.
Compliance Show, the one that's different.
Patreon, Casual Compliance.
Yeah.
TikTok, Casual Compliance, because I now post all the old stuff on there.
Hell yeah.
And
you got that throwback compliance.
Yeah, exactly. It's if you want to watch our stuff a week behind, go watch it on TikTok. And if you want to watch our stuff on time and you're watching this on TikTok, go to any other platform.
Yeah, you're about a week behind.
You are if lucky, you're actually a fortnight behind.
Maybe I should cut this out just for TikTok.
Yeah.
This segment.
Yeah. Email us as well, casualcompliance@gmail.com. We read everything. We fell behind during PAX on all the comments, but that's because they were coming in such high volume. But we did read everything.
Yeah, because of that one fucking short that went. Anyway.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. We'll be back with probably another Banlist episode after this, or a few Banlist episodes before we get onto
Attack on Cardboard.
AOC. But thank you so much for the support.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us ramble.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Make sure you go check out the Netflix magic show that's coming.
I know nothing about that.
April Fool's Day! Would you be mad at me if I said my microphone wasn't on this whole time?
I super would. And I've been paranoid about mine the whole time. No, it's good.
Usually we look down and we see the lights on us.
I've been paranoid that this wasn't recording the entire time. Fuck me. No, we're good.